Good morning to everybody in Asia that is up bright and early on this Friday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got a lot of my network, and my special guest has a lot of her network starting their day with coffee and with this conversation that we're about to have, which is really going to talk about the transformation from kind of corporate employment to entrepreneurship. And it's something that a lot of people have thought about. COVID happened, and a lot of people tried it. A lot of people thought about it, but didn't try it. They didn't have the courage to do it. And a lot of people are considering it now, but they don't really know what to consider in terms of they just understand that it's risky. And so they haven't quite taken the step yet. So, myself and my very special guest that I'll introduce in a moment, we're hoping that our conversation will fill in those gaps for those of you that are undecided about it and would like to know what to think about, what to consider if you're thinking about transitioning from employment to entrepreneurship and pursuing what might have been a lifelong passion. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about something that my guest and I have in common, which is as we all fight the tomb of time and the clock is ticking on our limited time on this planet. We're going to talk a bit about what we do to keep young, okay, and to feel young, to feel youthful, and to really be at the top of our game so that we can enjoy more life, we can enjoy more time with our family, we can enjoy whatever our passions are. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, and we'll see where it takes us. And you, the guests that are here, have an opportunity to chip in as well and ask questions, put topics up for debate if you'd like to. We're happy to talk about that. So please start off by letting me know where you're tuning in from and if you're watching us live right now, and I'll make sure that we give you a shout out. For those of you that are watching this on the replay, because there will be at least two to 3,000 people that see this on replay over the weekend. Big part of my network is in Africa and the Middle East, and people are sleeping over there right now. And so I know you'll be seeing it on the replay. And for those of you in Europe that are not that are probably doing better things than watching us so late at night, please do tee up any comments, questions, even if you're watching it on the replay. And my guest and I will make sure that we do respond to that. So we're streaming live right now on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channel, the Packard Network Live. And so we're going to kind of get into the conversation here. And I'll just start by introducing my special guest who's coming to us live from KL, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Ferlyn Kwang is my special guest, and I met Ferlyn more than a year ago, and on the platform here, and we've gotten to know each other quite well. She's very inspiring. Her story is amazing, and we're gonna kind of get into that in a few minutes. But Ferlyn has a very strong work ethic. She's a very hard worker, highly energetic. She has a big ambition for success. And after starting her career in Singapore, she returned to Malaysia and held different jobs as well. And, she soon realized that relying solely on the traditional employment wouldn't really give her the time and financial freedom that she and her family desired. And so she took some steps on that, which is really going to be what we talk about today. And I think that I'll let her tell the story more. But she dedicated herself to obtaining a CFP, Certified Financial Planner certification, and that is for those of you that are not in the financial services industry, that is one of the ultimate certifications where you can help people plan for their future. You can help them understand their risk tolerance, manage the risk, and also plan for their estate. So it requires a very intelligent mindset to acquire the CFP. A lot of hard work, a lot of experience and effort it goes into obtaining that certification. And as an ex banker and person that ran wealth management businesses around the world, whenever I meet somebody that has a CFP, I really highly respect that and what that person has gone through and paid the price to be able to help other people with the financial part of their lives as well. Um, so we're going to get into that. But Ferlyn, I'm going to pause right there. Welcome to the program. It's great to have you on the Packard Network Live.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you tune in. I'm so happy to be here. And you look very good with the pink tie today.
Well, thank you very much. So I appreciate that. So we we've got a few people that are kind of tuning in here, and let me just kind of get this. So we have Bruce here. Bruce is the guy in the blue shirt. For those of
Yeah,
you
hi, Bruce.
Ferlyn and I both know Bruce, and Bruce does great work on here as well. Bruce also does live programs, and he's a critical part of the LinkedIn library of learning. If you'd like to, you should follow him, connect with him. But it's great to have you here, Bruce, as well. And we have Regina here. Regina is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on the east coast of the U.S. Regina, thank you very much for coming in here as well. It's terrific to have you here as well. Bruce says the Tomb of Time. Yes, that's. I don't know. It just kind of entered my mind, Bruce, when I said Tomb of Time. But anyway, I think everybody gets the point that we're all trying to figure out how to make the most of our time and hopefully extend that here as well. And you're coming from Tempe, Arizona, so that's fantastic as well. So let us know where you're tuning in from as well, and it's great. Ferlyn, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing in Malaysia. And
Mm.
I know one thing about you, many things about you, but one thing that really stands out is your work ethic. As I kind of said in the intro, is very, very solid. Um, Tell us a bit about that. Did your upbringing have anything to do with that?
My parents,
Hmm.
have many children. I have
Yes.
one elder brother and six younger
Hmm.
sister. So
Okay. So it's a big family.
yeah, so seven of us. I always say this, it's probably a joke or what, Chinese, right? We
Hmm.
have, always want a son first, right? So it happens to my family. And then I was the first daughter, so I believe that my mom, when have having me at that time, she was not won't worry because she's already have a son. And then after me, right, there are so many girl. So I always say that probably my nature is a little bit positive, maybe because during my pregnancy, my mom has no worry, you know. So anyway, they are working very hard, to raise seven
Hmm.
of us, So I see my mom and my dad, my dad is preparing, bicycle. We're having bicycle shop for my grandfather, and then
Mm.
my mom is a tailor for clothing, especially for Malay. So I see them working so hard to raise each of us. And during my very young age, I already started to think about it. We need to have a way to raise ourselves. So I actually started to make money, small little money during my school time.
Mm.
So I think that what we see is that parents is so hardworking. There are so many, and I have so many sisters. So
Yeah.
maybe that thoughts have bring us is that we need to be able to fund ourselves and
Hmm.
to be work hard, for our own future. I think that have let us see, and how parents have working so hard for us, so we need to be also to be working very hard so that we will have a different kind of future.
Right. Absolutely. So I assume that all of you were developed the work ethic for the same reasons that you just mentioned that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Kudos to your parents.
And it's also very hard, for to raise 7 children, and especially I'm having my education in Singapore.
Hmm.
Thankful that time the currency is not so high yet. When having my education there with Malaysia currency
Yeah. It's
at that
all
time.
it's all it's all a matter of timing. And for those of you that excuse me, for those of you that this message is for the Americans. Okay, yes, I'm an American, but I spent most of my career overseas. For those of you Americans that have only dealt in U.S. dollars, the currencies across Asia determine so many things.
Yeah.
They can determine risk. They can determine what Ferlyn talked about in terms of the education, depending on which way the currency is headed. Um, it can either be good or very bad,
Yes.
because you eventually repatriate your monies into a base currency.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with payroll. I remember my wife and I getting paid in I would get paid in different currencies, and some years we'd be way ahead of where we were, and the salary was roughly the same at the executive level. And some years it would be like, wow, we took a pay cut, but we didn't take a pay cut, but it was
Yeah.
because of the currency. So currencies
Yes.
do play a big role as well. So I think I always, whenever currencies are brought up, it's such an important point that I like to point that out for the Americans, because a lot of Americans that don't really travel abroad don't really grasp that concept. So, well, that's good. So that worked out well for you, being
At that time,
educated
the
in Singapore. Yeah.
currency when I'm during
Uh,
my study is 1.2 Singapore to Malaysia.
oh wow.
Malaysia.
Okay.
Can you imagine right
Yeah.
now?
Oh yeah. Exactly. What is it right now?
3 point, I think around 3.3.
Yeah. How about that? Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, the Timothy Gleason is here. Tim, welcome to the program. It's great to have you here as well. We have Lydia here. Lydia, thank
Yeah.
you so much as well. It's great to have you here, Lydia. I really appreciate all of your amazing support as well. Work ethic. Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt, knows you quite well, for Lynn, and he knows all about your work ethic. We see
Yeah.
that every
Have to
day.
thank
And
him.
the leading lady of the family, and he wants to know, what age did you have your first job to help the family there? He was 11 at his first job. Bruce was. How about?
Uh, I think it's in no, I think it's in primary school. Started to feel that just talking about that. I love plant, right? Okay,
Mhm.
so happened that my neighbor, they have a durian plantation. All right, okay, and so they need people to actually put the soil into the plastic bag, so for them to start to have grow from
Mm.
the seeds. So at that time I'm still in primary school, and if I can pack 10 bags of the soil into the plastic bag, I will get Malaysia 10 cents. But that 10
Wow.
cents, I'm so happy. Wow, I can
Right.
get 10 cents at that time.
That's
But I used
awesome.
to I
Yeah.
used to help my mom during the Malay Hari Raya. We have a lot of clothings to do, and I will help my mom to sew.
Mm.
And I remember it's like one piece 50 cents. So
Oh
after the
wow. Yeah.
Raya, and then I said, "Oh, this is that much I have earned." But I do go to Singapore at the time is
Mm.
after my secondary school. We have like I don't know whether like Form 3 we have a exam, we have a longer periods, and then I started to go to Singapore with some friends, and we work in the factory, and I have to get up very early,
Yep.
even after Form 5. And always tell people is that, when you started to just earn your money first time, right, you're so happy. And at that time, I was in Singapore. Form 3, right, is about probably 15, 16 years old, 15 years old, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I earned, I think my salary I got at time is about 200 plus Sing dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so happy, went to a shopping and want to buy a beautiful dress. And the owner says, oh, you're still so young. Right? Come, we give you a good price. So at that time, I remember I bought the dress for 72 Sing dollar. I'm so
Oh,
happy
wow.
about it. Okay. And
Wow.
and then I met my auntie in Singapore. He said, this
Wow.
piece you buy at 70 plus? It's only about 30 something. He said, oh, I say,
Oh, no.
so, so I say, oh, I'm so happy to buy this dress. But the boss looked at us like so young, and it was like, oh, you don't know the price, right? I'll just tell you that price. I think the most important is about the happiness when we bought the
Right.
dress,
Yeah,
right?
that feeling that you had.
Yeah. So I
Absolutely.
said, oh, at least I bought this dress out of my own pocket money.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. We have BB Kong here. BB, welcome.
Maybe from
It's great
Singapore.
to have you here. Good morning to you as well from Singapore.
Yeah.
And that's great. We have Nadine here from Jamaica. Nadine,
Ah,
thank you
hey.
so much for tuning in from Jamaica. So we really have a global audience here today as
We
well.
have
So
Ken. We have Ken.
and we have Ken here. I saw
Yeah.
Ken. Let me get him up here as well. Ken, here we go. I love Ken's comments always. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness for sharing our scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly, tasty, good, heartfelt thoughts with us today. Absolutely. Well said. Couldn't say it better myself, Ken. So it's great to have you here as well. So, Ferlyn, tell us a bit about. So you're kind of let's fast forward a few years, and then you're kind of working in the what we'll call normal employment, and then you kind of realize that maybe this isn't giving you the flexibility and the financial freedom, the time freedom that you really wanted. So, what was the moment that you decided to do something about that?
Are you talking about for the employment into my financial planning career?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. I was having my a few jobs in Singapore. Always that I feel that in employment, right? We are jumping jobs, right? And then because of one thing is maybe I think one of the main thing is about salary, and maybe we're not happy with the environment, and we think they
Hmm.
want to go for advancements. And then at that time, I was have to come back to Malaysia is because my boyfriend, now my husband, back to Malaysia.
Yep.
So I was kind of like I have to move. I was from Singapore, the
Mm.
city, and go to a town called Sungai Petani in Kedah. Okay, so in Singapore, right? I think I'm more. I have the kind of worth. I would say that I have handled a lot of things. I have a good boss. So, but when I come back to Malaysia, right, it was some kind like what job I'm going to do at this place. It's a small little town. So and then I end up into an international company, and I'm considered as a very junior in that
Mm.
company. I have a lot of I don't know whether you understand the word. They say old brats. Do you know understand the word old brats for corporates?
Hmm.
Yeah. So there are a
Yep.
lot of managers that are already so many years working in that particular factory. And
Yep.
I see at that time, right, somehow or rather, I feel that if you have the ability, right, if you are ended into a company in this manner, it's very hard for us to unlatch, what we really want to do. And there's
Mm.
always a like, where can I go? Because there is a tier, and my ranking, I'm the only one executive at the time before I left, reported to managing director, and all the
Okay.
other department they are all managers. So
Okay. Right. Right.
one of the reason for me is that I don't see that I can have any more growth from
Hmm.
that company. And I can see that in employment, right? I always think that things is not fair. Things is
Okay.
not fair.
Right.
If it's hard for you to grow anymore at the
Right.
employment.
So
So I
you felt stagnated. You felt like, okay,
yes, yes.
this is kind of it for me. Yep.
Yeah, and then there's a salary cap as well for your particular ranking, and
Yep.
you are just there. You can't move anymore.
Right.
And there's a lot of course, there's a lot of politics. So
Right.
I'm the one that handle customer service
Yep.
to different part of the world, and the company is
Hmm.
doing medical, and they are actually serve the whole world. And
Right.
if it's like production with customer service, always have customer want that what they want, production say that I cannot do it. And then sometimes it's political reasons. They just say that you cannot do it, but they have to get attention from the big boss, come to solve the problem. The kind of
Mm.
stuff. So I was stuck in that area at the time. I was not happy. So I
Right.
think that I should go. I should I should quit. Out of this toxic environment, and go to pursue. That I can go full time with what I already doing part time for my financial planning career.
Yep. Yep.
So I
Hmm.
just did, just let go for my employment. And I remember very well on the last day, I met my MD for the last time, and he just told me that I have given a letter to all the department heads saying that I have a good staff is leaving today, is going to leave us, not because she's not performing, and just because she's not happy. Yeah, and then because he said that every place I go to meet my customer, I only got compliments from the customer on our service here, which is I
Wow.
hold the
Yeah.
department.
Yep.
So, and I just say that thank you for writing the letter, but I have make up my mind to actually leave the employment world and to
Hmm.
pursue what I'm currently going into my financial planning. So
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that 14 years employment have actually made me feel that the platform is not fair. If you have
Hmm.
potential to go, it's always
Right.
not equal. And of course, for sure is that time and financial freedom will not be tied up. The more that you get paid, the more work we have to do, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I,
I do.
I feel that
Yep.
is that one day you have to go. One day you have to go, right? And will that
Hmm.
everything go back to zero as well?
Yep.
Except that you have our experience, and that's how I feel about employment, my career.
Yeah. I think you're spot on about that, and there's some pluses to corporate life, but there's also some minuses, and you have to weigh those and
Yes,
decide
right. It's all about
for
individual choices.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's more than money, because I will tell you that having financial freedom, it's possible to have financial freedom and retire financially independent, as my wife and I did, with
yeah,
on
yes.
my income with her help at 52.
Mm,
That's pretty young in
yeah.
corporate life, but it wasn't because I made a ton of money, okay? But there's a ton of money there, and the reason is that we were very disciplined, where we
Mm,
always lived within our means.
yeah,
We had zero debt,
yeah.
so if we couldn't afford to pay for it, we just didn't get it, right?
That's very
Didn't have it,
important.
and we
Yeah,
did that for years. My wife made sacrifices, I made sacrifices, and we were always comfortable, but we were never lavish, and never wanting to go out and have afternoon tea every day, with people and that type of thing as well. So a lot of the disciplines that somebody can have, but there's other sides to corporate life as well that you have to decide, such as the time, the
yeah,
politics, the
yes,
different things that you're talking about, and it's not for everybody, right? So some
yeah.
people it's perfect for, and other people it's not right for. And if you're feeling like it's toxic and not really good and aligned with what you're wanting to do, then you should make the change like you did. And I think I really applaud the effort
Yeah,
that
I
you did.
think it's
So,
the toxic environment that I'm in at the time. But I
yeah,
do thanks.
exactly.
But I
Yeah.
do thanks. After years back, right? I'm actually very thankful that there are some
Mhm.
black angel, right? It's because
Right.
that environment that force you out, right? And
Right.
then then you go into something, and then you feel
Mm,
that hey, you actually have more potential, but
absolutely.
it's not because of that probably you're still very comfortable.
That's right. Exactly. That's precisely right. Yeah. Want to welcome Andrea. Andrea here from Connecticut. Andrea, thank you, and great to see you this evening. Thank you for tuning in as well. We have um, Ken and Bruce are having a conversation here, so we'll let them do that as well. But I think that Regina, thank you for your contribution as well. Regina has also made a transition as well, and she has her own. Someday I'll have her on this program, but Regina's also, I know, encountered some challenges with the corporate world as well, but she did something about it. She learned from it, and now she helps other people, as well. So, Regina, yeah, I think you know how much I respect you as well. So, and Ferlyn, this question's for you from Bruce. How do you navigate the transition from corporate to solo and back? He's done it 3 times. What was the best and most challenging things to address? Go ahead, Ferlyn. I'll let you answer that one.
I think when we change right from employments and to solo, I mean entrepreneur, I think first of all, I think our mindset is very important. You have to
Yes.
believe that you can take control of your future.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to believe that we can take control of our future, and we have to
So,
believe,
belief is the first thing, right? That
yeah,
belief.
believe that
Okay.
you are you and you. I think belief come in a lot of parts, and you deserve. You think you believe that you can deserve for more,
Right.
and they think to work it out. And of course, at the time, I'm actually going to financial planning career, and
Mm-hmm.
we can see that if I can work on this platform, right, I see many success story as well, and also
Yep.
believe that if you work it out, like you are able to do as well. So I think that mindset have to be in, and then still come back to the same question about why we live, what do you want. I think that is
Right.
important for us. So no matter how challenged is a thing, I always think that things is always be able to fix it out if you are willing to seek help. I think that is important, seek help and ask for advice.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. And I think, Bruce, the only thing that I would add on to what Ferlyn talked about is assessing the risk of making the change and comparing that to the risk assessment of not making the change,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Because,
that's very good
yeah,
point for that.
yeah, because that and Ferlyn and I are going to talk in a few minutes about kind of health overall and, kind of some things that we can do to get the most out of our life. And I think in my younger career, Bruce, I was really bad at this. I was all in, just focus on, what I want to get done with the career and didn't, kind of neglected maybe the mental, physical health a bit. And fortunately, I was okay throughout it. Thanks in huge part to my wife kind of being there to keep me in check and from going too deep into the
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
But I would say but as the years progressed, I got wiser about this. And I would say now in the year 2023 that make sure that you assess the risk of not making the change as it relates to your physical and mental health, because
yeah,
if you're in the toxic environment, Ferlyn gave an example of early in her career, how she felt, and she was getting top client satisfaction scores at the top of the pay grade, top performance, and she hit the cap, hit the
yeah,
ceiling. and
yes,
and so then but then she found that didn't really the other parts of her life, she wanted more freedom to do things. So the risk of not doing that would probably create some strain on the other part of Ferlyn's life. So I would say that that's what I would do, is compare the risk of doing it versus not doing it. Most people just on the surface compare the risk of making the change, and
Yeah.
then they get scared and say,
I think
"Oh, I don't
human
think I should do
yeah,
this. I can't give up my salary." Right? Yeah.
human behavior is fear first, fear for change.
Always fear first. Always fear first. So kind of act counter to that, as well. So I think that that's now. I know Bruce is saying that he does that for others as well. And yeah, the pros and cons and the good old fashioned. I call myself a dinosaur, and I am. The good old fashioned. Get out a piece of paper and a pencil and write down how you feel
Mm,
and put that next to your bed at night. And if you wake
mm,
up in the night and you're worried about something, just write it down. Don't stay up all night. You deal with it later. Take your time with this stuff, but just kind of jot down the pros and cons about how you feel. Say for over a week, if I've got a big decision to make, I'm going to do that over the course of say a week, and I'm going to put that notepad next to my bed, and if I wake up in the middle of the night because something's bothering me, I just jot it down and go back to sleep. Right? Something like that. So I think that
mm.
these are the kind of things that just the good old fashioned pros and cons helps a lot. For Lynn, so
Yeah.
when you got your CFP, tell us the little story about your income went up by what 7 times or something like that. Tell us a little bit about that experience and
Uh,
the figures aren't important, but the 7x is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have been doing this for part time. When
Mm,
I realize that when you are having part time, right, you
right.
somehow you are very comfortable. Say that it
Yep.
doesn't matter if I don't do much, right? I still have
Right.
an employment salary. That's the thinking. So due to the toxic environment, and I'm not happy, so I just say that okay, I want to go. I want to quit. I want to go full time. Okay, so at that time when I start to turn full time. Uh, we have new things coming in from our funds. So I say, hey, I got my time here, right? To share with a lot of people about the investment. So
Mhm.
I do not know that when we just focus on what we do. Telling people how good the funds are, you should start to look at it and then do invest. And then when that have done for the month, and then when we get a commission, I say, wow. I say, whoa, how come so much? How come so much? But I
Right.
think I realized something is that you do not know what is your limit. You do not know what
Yeah.
is your limit. But if you're willing to try to challenge yourself, and you will know that you can actually do that much. So but that is not about how much. It's about seeing yourself that you have the ability that to do more than just you kept last time in my employment world. So
Right.
at the time I say that, yeah, actually we can take control of our income, our future.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. And
so that
sometimes you've got to take a risk in order to do that, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reward
So
is
mm,
definitely there. Adibi Dress is here. Thank you, Adibi, for taking the time to join us as well. Great to have you here. Ferlyn, tell us the story now. I want to kind of get into your sister went through some health transformative program, something like that. Can you tell us a bit about that and tell us how that obviously caught your attention? And I'd really like to, because when you and I first met, you told me a bit about this, and I became very interested in that because since I retired at 52, I'm 59 now, so 7 years ago, I left corporate life and retired. And my plan, I don't know if it'll work out this way. I would love to live to be 100 healthy. I don't want to be I don't want to live to be 100 unhealthy. I want to live to be healthy. So I
yeah.
saw I saw what you were doing on here, and it really inspired me as well. So I'd like to talk a bit about that because I think it's a bit unique what your sister I think went through, and then what you've been through as well. And I'd like to talk a bit about that if that's okay with you.
Okay. Uh, this morning I do a post say that I do not know that 15 years ago, with my a simple desire that I want to look good and be healthy and lead
Mhm.
me my way here, with my current platform. Do you believe that everyone deserves to look good, and feel good and live better? I think everybody
Oh,
want that, right? Yeah, but there is
right.
just that how can we do that? So it
Exactly.
was back 15 years ago, and I live in northern Malaysia, and my sister is in Johor. So we
Hmm.
are actually one south and one north, and
Okay.
probably we don't used to meet each other quite often during at the
Right.
time. So my
Yep.
sister was on a program on weight management, okay, and
Hmm.
at the time do not have this era that can send photo, right? It's just like SMS. So every day she would just say, sis, I on the program. I say, okay. And how much I have lose, something like that. I say, finish the program first. And then we happened to have a gathering in my brother's house in Kuala Lumpur. At the time, when I look at her at the first glance, I say, wow, what kind of transformation you have. So
Yeah.
immediately my answer is, I want to take the program.
So tell us, like when you first saw her, like what was different. Tell us about that as well.
When we go on weight management, right? I always very scared about going to weight management because first thing is that I think, is it safe for me? I always think that it's not safe, and I
Hmm.
don't trust. So, but then when my sister on the program, I really know the company for a long time. I'm actually a user, but was not into like a program like this. So, I see her transform, not just about lose weight, but she's actually in a very good shape. Okay, and somehow like if you want to lose, right, is it losing fat is important and building your muscle is important, and then
Hmm.
she looks very young, so the kind of
So
energy,
she just looked younger.
younger and shaper, a different
Hmm.
kind of when I see people lose weight, sometimes it's like just lose weight, that doesn't looks good, so I see her lose weight, good shape, looks good, look young. So my immediate response is that, oh, I want to on the program at that time. Okay, I think that is a simple desire that everyone's,
Right.
that aroused me to go on the program.
So you did it. So you
Yeah,
went on the program. Yep.
yeah.
And and tell us about what did that involve? What did like and tell us how that changed your life.
Okay,
Mm.
basically it's my how do I from my financial planning career and into that the
Yep.
current platform, right? Okay,
Hmm.
I was doing financial planning all this while and doing well. I have actually never thought that I have a career switch. Okay, but I know that during my financial planning days, right?
Hmm.
It's usually like, I know that those people that have money, sufficient money, then probably only able to do a good sound financial planning. Do you agree with me?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. So I always think that, what if those that the income is not so good, they only have active income. What else, but there's nothing I can do at that time. So when I come into here, right, well, first it's about the products. That it's not about a product that I see this opportunity. It's not about the products is good helping me, and then I will just want to go for a switch, because I was from that financial planning, and then go making, just like you say, that what is my risk, right, making into the change.
Mm.
But I'm thankful that I have met mentors, okay, and they and share with me about, having a business model that running a low risk, and first the principle must be trustworthy, and the products,
Mm.
the technology behind the fundamental of science must be solid.
Right.
And I think
Right.
until today we probably are the only one that have go into the age go into the source of aging, and we have
Hmm.
developed this age lock technology that had already been featured in CNN in Discovery Channel, was actually based on the calorie restriction principle. They actually done a
Okay.
study on monkeys for 20 years, for a group of monkeys, and they have
Hmm.
one group that didn't control the calories intake. On
Okay.
the other group, right, they control them only take 70% every day, and
Mm-hmm.
that experiment science was done for 20 years.
Okay.
Okay, and they see the big difference of the two group of monkey, and that company LifeGen have developed the technology called gene chips. They're able to see the gene expression of the two group of monkeys. You know,
Okay.
so I
And
was in the program at the time. What brought me to see the business is I met my mentors and let me understand about ESBI,
mm-hmm.
Robert Kiyosaki, and I think that I should have the chance to pursue into a B quadrant. I was very skeptical about technology. We'll talk later. I was so very skeptical about, I know about ESBI, right? Okay, I was in employment and I go to self-employed, and I also have investment and help people to do this parts. But I have never
Mm-hmm.
thought that, do I have a chance to go to B? I know for this B quadrant, a lot of heavy investment. Is there a system, And then I met my mentors. They are also doing well in financial planning before, and that brought me
Mm-hmm.
very curious to understand further. Okay, of course, in my current platform 15 years ago, something happening is after I take my program, and then and my sister asked me, is there anybody you can help with your friends,
Mm.
and she wanted to come over to my place. I
Yes.
said,
Yep.
and then when she come over, as a bigger sister, as an elder sister, right?
Mm.
You just want to help your sister. And so when she's here, right, I say that since you are here, right, I say that let's help some. Can you help somebody? I say yeah. So I bring her, for a day, and then I think we have 6 person, and I have I do not know what is that all about, and then I have qualified for some position in that company in the affiliate marketing that I joined as a member. And then when come to second month, and then one words ask me, they just ask me, can you help more people? I say,
Mm.
yeah, help more people. And they
Wow.
ask me,
Yeah.
yeah, they say that, do you want to get another similar kind of income that you have in financial planning? I say, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I say, yeah. I say, what should I do to do? He said, just help more people. At the time was like,
Wow. Yeah.
this thing is a challenge and it's good to help people, right?
Right.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah, but in the second month when I help number of people, when I got my paycheck again, I see that what is it doing in this platform, and do I need to know further about what is it behind me? I was very
Mm-hmm.
skeptical about affiliate marketing, but I know I love the product, I love the company. Okay, but it
Right.
just never everybody brought in to see the business. So it's always talking about proactive and initiative, right? If you want to go for something. So I ask a question, say that what is the thing if behind me if I willing to work hard here?
Right.
Can
Mm-hmm.
somebody tell me? So then I look for mentors. I look
Mm-hmm.
for mentors, and
Okay.
they told me about why this business model they want to pursue from
Mm-hmm.
their previous career, and they share with me their experience. So I thought that what if I come to this platform? I think I should be able to help more people.
Right.
First thing is that everyone deserves to be healthy. I always think that if you are healthy, you can pursue many dreams, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then second is that many people have the chance to be entrepreneur on a smaller scale by investing in themselves
Right.
and having a business model that is low risk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are willing to work hard, right, you can have different kind of different returns, and it brought me into go global. And this platform, when I in financial planning, I can only work within the region of Malaysia,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right?
And so all of a sudden it's global now. Right.
Yeah, and then it was like come to me at the junction that I have the peak in my career of my financial planning at that time. It will just move on like that. So, and of course, in 2019, 2009 is my first time flying to US, seeing the company.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the time I witnessed this breakthrough science that is
Right.
going to reset our gene expression. So I always feel that how good is to help people to live young longer, and everyone deserve. If you can help somebody, just imagine a family. If you have someone, and that
Mhm.
someone, right, is very different. And a healthy family is happy, right? And I also think that I can also help people to see their future through this platform. They are able to having their own business, even start as part-time is fine. Everybody start like that. But eventually they can see that they can control in their outcome in their future. I think this is something that I have the passion to do. And everyone deserves to have a better lifestyle, I think. I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can.
Sorry. Tell us a bit about what gene expression
Yeah,
is.
okay. I was sorry.
Okay.
I was
No,
jumping
that's
up a
okay.
little bit.
No,
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I think that not very many people really know about that. I know I don't know a lot about it, so maybe I'm the minority here, but I have a feeling that that's not a commonly known piece, and I'd love for you to talk a
Yeah,
bit about that. And then, of course, people after the program can contact you for much more
sure.
detail. But give us an overview of what it is, and by understanding the concept, what people can, how it can benefit them.
Okay.
Yep.
First of all, I think aging, right? Always people, do you have the
Mm.
no, the thought is that before this, right, I always thought that aging is natural, right? And is
Hmm.
is a process that we have to been through, right? I
Right.
think it's not about aging, it's about are we still able to maintain our quality of life even
Right.
we are aged, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So 2009, I went to see my company in US, Provo, Utah. I want to see, physically, I mean, see how big can I go for this platform, what kind of the company. I have heard a lot, I've used the product for a lot. I was actually a consumer for 7 years
Right.
before this hit the weight management. And
Hmm.
when I go there, and that's the time they start to introduce about this breakthrough science. So it was like, they say that gene is the one that govern our aging. If we can control something at the gene level, it's like epigenetic, power of epigenetic, then we can actually do a lot of prevention.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So it all started the science, right? It was not started with my company, it was started by a company called LifeGen Technology. They actually want to do a study to prove, is it is it true is it true that calorie restriction for a long time can help us to live young and healthy? Okay, is it
Okay.
true? Okay, so they want to do an experiment science, but not on the human. You cannot take human for experiment. They do
Hmm.
it on the monkeys because monkey is very similar to our human genes. So
Right.
what they took up at that time in 1989, they started this project was actually 76 monkey for experiment. Okay, and they put the monkey into two 38. Okay, one group they don't control their food. That means they eat whatever they like. Okay, another group they will subject them to reduce by 30%, and
Right.
that means they take 70% amount of food, and this done for 20 years.
Okay.
20 years. Okay, and after 20 years, they see the amazing difference of the look, right? From physically, you can see there are two different group of monkeys. One look very old, and they have
Wow.
disease just like humans. Okay, but
Right.
another group of monkeys, they look very young, still look
Wow.
very good.
So
Yeah.
it dramatically different.
Yes. But
Okay. Right.
yeah, but what made them change? What made have this kind of change? What is the change? So
Right.
this company have invented this technology. They have a gene chips, so they are
Okay.
able to see the difference of the two group of monkey,
Hmm.
in their gene expression. Their gene
Okay.
expression. They have different profile. I can't show any picture today. They have different profile, and
Right.
and that they have concluded, right? Say that if we subject to 20 years of calorie restriction, right,
Hmm.
is able to live young and healthy. Okay, and that's their conclusion at the time. And this result have telecast in CNN news and many others. I always lead people to just watch the CNN news. It's a very
Right.
simple, like just 3 minutes of the news. They talk about this monkey project.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, but the most important is that what leads this into my company, and now we have the products
Mhm.
to help us. Okay, and first of all, I don't think how many people can do like the monkey for 20 years.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what caught this into our company for a project is basically is about a very personal, touching story of my scientist, and his father was actually sick for 6 years.
Mm.
Quality of life is very bad.
Mhm.
Okay, and the time he was with the dad, at the time he had this thought is that, is it human have to go through the life cycle of the normal life cycle? It means we're
Mm.
young, we get old, we get sick, then we get die, then we die. Or is this
Right.
something we can do at our genes so that we can do a lot of prevention? And
Mhm.
that incident, right, prop us, our company, to look at this monkey project, and 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 the formula is already been out. The gene expression profile is already been out. The young and the old ones. So
Mhm.
what they do with this project, this company, my company, and a lot of world scientists, they want to participate in this big project. How
Okay.
can we use the natural ingredients,
Mhm.
okay, formulated into products that can use on our skin, can use as supplements, so that when we use it, right, consume it, right, we are able to
Mhm.
reset our gene expression into a younger and youthful pattern.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is a research. And
Fascinating.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it has already been featured in Discovery Channel, and for two
Mhm.
times. For two times. Okay.
Okay.
So at the
Right.
time when I go to the convention, I witnessed this science.
Mhm.
Um, I'm so thankful that we have this science, because I went through my own father's incident. My father
Right.
is also sick, and he got cancer at that time. The quality
Mhm.
of life is bad. We have spent a lot on our medical. We still cannot save his life. I see him suffer at the end of the stage. But we are with him at that time. We also bring him to China for treatment.
Mhm.
So I have this thought is about, when I'm old, right? How do I want to be? You know, are we able to do something first? And
Right.
so that we can prevent that, right? So it's always talk about, invest in our health is the best investment, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I see my father, so the family suffer, financially suffer as well, but he suffer, So then when I see this, right, I say that, how can I help myself and help more people? At least they have a better quality of life during their
Right.
old age. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So same thing happened to my scientist, our scientist, but he's a scientist, So that's why he had the innovations, and
Mhm.
but this happened to a lot of normal people. What can we do? We just try all the best to save our family member, right? Went through
Right.
the kind of
Absolutely.
stage.
Mhm.
So I'm just thinking that if we can help more people and to understand about the science, and I
Mhm.
believe that people will have peace of mind when take the products.
Right. Did
You know,
I've got a couple of questions here. Did the monkeys in the 20-year study, did they live longer? Did they look at that too?
yeah, yes. Some of them
Okay.
still surviving, yeah, but I can actually put the later
Yeah.
on the
So
news, so people can
they
have a
looked
look.
younger. They looked
Yes,
dramatically different than those that were
yes,
not on the program.
so much
The
different.
calorie intake, and then also they live longer as well. So
Yes,
the outcome was
yes.
um,
This
better. Yeah.
monkey came in for experiment at the 8.5 years old. The experiment
Yeah.
show is the 28 years old monkey. But the normal expectancy of the monkey is supposed around 27. So the group of taking it as what they want to have, more than 50% have gone. Whatever is
Right.
like old got disease. But another group, right? They are
Hmm.
look so young. Survival rate is still so high. And
Yeah.
I think right now probably they have go beyond more than 30% of the normal life expectancy, according
Wow.
to the study.
Yeah. Yeah. And then how does this differ from, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know a lot about stem cell. You hear about stem cell research, and if you can get stem cells, I don't know. I think I've read before you can get stem cells injected into you, and it will help you, live younger. How does this differ from that? Is it similar to that?
Not too so much into tune to stem cell, but I know that the things that are different is that a lot of products on they are actually the go best is to only go to the cellular level.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
genes, right, is much further in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, much further in, and that's the one that govern all our aging. So, but we are doing epigenetic reset gene expression, but through the products.
Gotcha. So the products basically go right to the genes.
Yes, yes. We have
And,
we have so
right.
many. We have our body have 37 trillion cell. Okay, and one cell itself have 25,000 genes.
Isn't that amazing?
So can you imagine? So we have
Right.
like products that target different kind of genes. Like for example,
Right.
the weight management. We will target for three group of genes. Like
Hmm.
metabolism is a problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then build muscle gene, and
So,
also the appetite
yeah.
control.
Okay. So people, we live in a world, unfortunately, where people want results right away. They want, 15 days, 14 days. Anyway, I'm not really from that generation, so I have a lot more patience. But tell us, based on people that you have helped, including yourself, including your sister, your family, um, the with this type of gene expression, these products and lifestyle, I assume you also need to make some lifestyle
Yeah,
changes to
of
make it
course.
work, right?
Making
Yeah.
us life good, right? There are three things you need to have. First thing
Yeah.
is about diets. That is,
Right.
good diets, right? Second is
Mm.
about our exercise as well.
Okay.
And third is talk about you have a supplements, to come
Gotcha.
into that
Hmm.
this tree, So I cannot say that, yeah, you just take my products, it will help you know
Right.
if you don't have good lifestyle, you eat a lot of junk foods, right? It's
So
not
you've
going
got
to
to
help
really
you.
be committed. You've got to really commit to it, right? In
No,
terms
at
of
least, at
how.
least,
Yeah.
I can only say is that if you on the products, if you are not good diet and exercise, you still better than you don't take the products. Okay,
Right. Right.
right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least that one can have proven that if you take the product and use the products, right, it will somehow will help you definitely for sure. But we want people
Right.
to see at a total, what kind of good lifestyle we
Hmm.
talk about, right? Diet plays an important part for us. We know
Sure.
exercise plays important parts, right? But
Yep.
there's something that we can't do sometimes is that how can I, even if I have good diet, exercise, but I cannot set my routine expression. But at
Right.
least with the products, right, it's science. It's already proven by science. It's already been done, and it's 20 over years research. Is talking in Discovery Channel, talking in Cine, and you can
Right.
have a peace of mind when you take the products.
Right. So somebody gets on your program, and when do they start to feel better? When do they
Yeah, of
start to
course.
notice the difference in their life?
It is. It depends on which products they will take.
Sure.
Sometimes you just have to let supplements take some times.
Right. I
It's
understand.
yeah.
Yep.
You cannot. If you take something immediately, you can feel it.
Hmm.
Might not be so safe. It all depends. So
That's
and
right. I
different people
agree.
take the
Yep.
product have different kind of reactions,
Hmm.
response. you
Yep.
know so but the first thing is that you have to understand about the fundamental is right. You understand and you have a peace of mind taking the products, and you just be patient with the product to take some times.
Right.
I
Right.
was
But
I was before I in the business, right? I'm already a 7 years consumer. So today's right,
mhm,
I have already took my company products since 2001.
you've been on this since 2001.
No, I'm a
Wow.
consumer of the
Right.
products of the
As a
company.
consumer. Right.
That
Exactly.
yeah, just happy with the products,
Yeah.
but was not brought in
Wow.
into see as a business model.
So that's longer than the monkey study, right?
But the one the monkey study started with the product is in year 2009.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
before
Yeah.
that era, yeah. But
Yeah.
so it was like we still have the normal
But it's
products
but you've been doing this for more than 20 years, right?
as a consumer. Or what?
Yeah. As a consumer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my skin. I have a very terrible skin,
Hmm.
and before I use the products, someone introduced to me and I start to see the change. And after I understand, and the fundamental of manufacture the product is all about all the good, none of the bad. This is the tech. This is the product mission we have, is that everyone deserves to have good products. And we have this, tech with our product is that, don't you want to have something that all the good, none of the bads?
Right.
And is and is a provide by nature, proven by science. And
Hmm.
that and our company is very focused on innovation into
Right.
beauty and wellness industry, this area.
Hmm. That's fantastic. So I think that for the viewers, there you have it. So we, the purpose of this program is not to sell you on something, but the purpose of this program is to share what's available out there.
Yeah.
And I think that you've just heard our special guest today talk about something that she has used as a consumer for more than 2 decades. Okay, that's kind of an extended period of time, but it's also not a short term pop the pill and expect something in 6 weeks. This is the type of thing that with a commitment to living a more youthful life and feeling more youthful,
But
you've got to make
we do have the
some,
world
yeah.
number one home beauty devices out of the
Yeah.
technology that you can feel instantly in 5 minutes.
Okay, great. Yeah. But it's not going to change
That's on
your,
the skin. That's on the skin,
yeah, but
right?
it's not going to be the type of transformation immediately, right, that we're talking about here. So I think the point that I want to make is it requires a commitment to diet, to exercise, and then also to complement that with these technologies
Yes.
that we're speaking about. So it's not
Yes.
just going to a vitamin store and popping a vitamin in your mouth every day. That's
No.
not what we're talking about.
No.
So I just want to be really clear to everybody watching this that it's the type of thing that's transformational. If you want anything to be transformational, you've got to play the long game. And that's what I want people to take away from this. You've got to be committed to it. You've got to say, this is going to take some time. Don't get into this instant gratification because you're
Yeah.
probably not going to see or feel it, right?
Right. I
Yeah, you
always feel
agree?
that,
Yeah,
have the passion of sharing this technology, because I know that many people out there are looking for a solution, you know.
yeah,
So are we able to
exactly.
tell them that you deserve for more? Just get yourself to understand, because as what Bruce said, right, I think education is very important. Even
Right.
for beauty and wellness, you actually need education as well. Same like financial planning as well. When we do financial planning, is that people
That's
want a
right.
solution. It's not about what product itself, right?
It's
But
not
people want
about
a solution.
trading. It's not about trading. It's about long term. What do you want to achieve
Right. And
with
then
your
when
family, with your life? Right.
right.
Yeah. Hmm.
And when you understand about the fundamental, okay,
Yep.
about the science, right? I always think that you have a peace of mind when you take the products.
Right.
So that is the
Absolutely.
thing, is that, one thing for me when I go into this platform, right, is that I do not have to worry about the products at all, because I already a consumer for a long time. It's just
Right.
that how do I turn this into a business so that I can reach out to help more people.
Right. Exactly. So, Ferlyn, what's the best way for people to reach you to find out more about this?
Just on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Just on
Okay.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Great. Good. So on LinkedIn. So there you have it. So Ferlyn, we're just about out of time. Any
Yeah.
final words or messages you'd like to give to the crew watching this today?
I think every one of us deserve for the best, and we
Mhm.
can always go for the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a very powerful advice. And I just like to add on to that, one of when I get up every day, I'm grateful for waking up.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my health, for my wife, for everybody around me, for my network, for those of you
Yes.
watching this. I'm grateful. But also, I have a desire to, as I grow older and fight the tomb of time, to feel as though I felt when I was younger. That's just something
Yeah.
that
Yes.
is inside of me that I feel that it's just something that drives me. It doesn't drive a lot of people, but it's something that I would encourage all of you to think about, because it's important that it will keep. It's important that you stay sharp on your physical health, on your mental health,
Yes.
okay, and as you progress with aging, okay, and hopefully enjoy more life. And I think that what Ferlyn has shared about today is that's one way to do that. And there's
Yes.
obviously other ways to do it as well. But if you'd like to learn more about that, please connect with her and find out more. She's living proof, as Bruce said a while ago, living proof right here on the screen. More than two decades of being on this program has really made a wonderful difference. Ferlyn, we're out of time, but
Yeah.
you've got a great inspirational story. I love the story. I love your the what you went through with your family growing up, the work ethic of your parents, how you worked your way up in the corporate, how you took the bold move to go from kind of the corporate life into entrepreneurship, and using the CFP, helping that shape the lifestyle you wanted, and then also then getting into an international, global type of business as well as an entrepreneur. I think it's a very inspirational story, and I'd like to thank you and appreciate the hour that you've given us today to share your story. So thank you for that.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you for all our friends that joined us today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for tuning in, for your dialogue. We can the great thing about the platform, we can LinkedIn, we can continue the conversation. So even when we're off the air, and so please let's keep it going, and please, if you're not connected with Ferlyn, please do so to be inspired and to learn more and more and more. And with that, I'll say good, happy Friday to everybody, and happy Thursday evening to the rest of you. And I appreciate you taking the time to tune in to the Packard Network Live, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.